Imagine a president who not only fulfilled all his campaign promises, but also chose to serve just one term in office. In the vast history of the United States, one president stands out for achieving precisely that: James K. Polk. Serving as the 11th president from 1845 to 1849, Polk is a figure often overshadowed by others, but one who left an indelible mark on the nation. James K. Polk, the 11th president of the United States, was a man whose early life, political rise, and presidential tenure were all marked by determination, ambition, and a deep commitment to fulfilling his promises. Born on November 2, 1795, in a log cabin in Mecklenburg County, North Carolina, Polk was the oldest of 10 children in a family of Scottish-Irish descent. His parents, Samuel and Jane Polk, were hardworking and instilled in him the values of discipline and education. In 1806, when Polk was just 11 years old, his family moved west to the Tennessee frontier, where they became prosperous planters. Although he suffered from poor health as a child, Polk showed an early aptitude for learning. He attended the University of North Carolina at Chapel Hill, where he graduated with honors in 1818. His education there sparked his interest in public service and law. After returning to Tennessee, Polk studied law under renowned lawyer Felix Grundy and was admitted to the bar in 1820. Polk's political career began in the Tennessee state legislature, where he was elected in 1823. Just a year later, he married Sarah Childress, who would become a significant influence and advisor throughout his career. In 1825, Polk was elected to the U.S. House of Representatives, where he served for 14 years. His close association with Andrew Jackson, the 7th President of the United States, played a crucial role in his political ascent. Polk became known as Young Hickory, a nod to Jackson's nickname Old Hickory, reflecting their shared political ideology. Polk's rise continued when he served as Speaker of the House from 1835 to 1839, becoming the only president to have held that position. After leaving Congress, he returned to Tennessee and served as governor, though his gubernatorial career was less successful, marked by 2 defeats in 1841 and 1843. These setbacks seemed to signal the end of his political life, but Polk's story was far from over. Polk's rise to the presidency was no easy feat. A close friend and mentee of Andrew Jackson, Polk benefited greatly from this relationship as he climbed the political ladder, moving from state to national politics. Jackson's support was crucial as Polk navigated the rough waters of the political arena, especially during the 1844 elections. While many expected Martin Van Buren to secure the Democratic nomination, Van Buren's opposition to the Texas annexation proved to be his political undoing. The Democrats, in a surprising turn of events, rallied behind Polk, a man many considered a dark horse candidate. Despite being a former Speaker of the House and Governor of Tennessee, Polk was twice defeated and out of office before his nomination. Some even argued that his association with Jackson was his only saving grace. Nevertheless, Polk triumphed in the 1844 elections, narrowly defeating Henry Clay of the Whig Party by a mere 38,000 votes. Once in office, Polk set out to fulfill his ambitious campaign promises. As a staunch Democrat and a Southerner, Polk was determined to lower the high tariff rates that had long been a point of contention between the North and the South. The Whig Party, representing Northern manufacturers, favored higher tariffs, but Polk believed they were excessively burdensome. To address this, he appointed Robert Walker as Secretary of the Treasury to draft a new tariff plan. After intense debates in Congress, where sectional lines were clearly drawn, Vice President George Dallas cast the tie-breaking vote in the Senate, passing the new tariff bill. This move not only fulfilled a key campaign promise, but also surprisingly increased tariff revenues. With the tariff issue resolved, Polk turned his attention to the independent Treasury Act, a financial system first introduced by President Martin Van Buren in 1840. The act, meant to replace the Second Bank of the United States, had been repealed by the Whigs. However, Polk was determined to revive it. He successfully established the independent Treasury, which ensured that federal funds were exclusively managed by the government, and that payments were made in gold, silver, or paper backed by precious metals. This was another promise kept by Polk. One of the most significant and contentious issues of Polk's presidency was the annexation of Texas. Unlike his predecessors, Polk openly advocated for bringing Texas into the Union. He believed that Texas was rightfully part of the Louisiana Purchase, but had been unfairly lost through the Adams-Honest Treaty. The annexation was a hotly debated topic in Congress, with southern states supporting it as it would add another slave state to the Union, while northern states generally opposed the expansion of slavery. Nevertheless, Polk was unwavering in his commitment, and Texas officially joined the Union in December 1845. But Polk's ambitions didn't stop there. He was determined to resolve the long-standing Oregon dispute with Britain. The two nations had jointly occupied the Oregon Territory since 1818, but tensions were rising and the risk of war loomed. During his election campaign, Polk rallied the nation with the slogan, 54, 40, or fight, a reference to the northern boundary of the Oregon Territory. Once in office, Polk moved swiftly to negotiate with Britain. Ultimately, he agreed to a border along the 49th parallel, averting war and securing American control over present-day Oregon, Idaho, Washington, and access to the Columbia River. With the Oregon issue settled, Polk's attention shifted to Mexico, where tensions were high following the annexation of Texas. The situation escalated when Polk moved American troops into disputed territory north of the Rio Grande. After Mexican cavalry attacked U.S. troops in April 1846, Polk declared war. The Mexican-American War, though fought on multiple fronts, saw American forces achieve swift and decisive victories, culminating in the capture of Mexico City in September 1847. The Treaty of Guadalupe Hidalgo, signed in February 1848, ended the war, and the United States gained vast territories, including present-day Arizona, California, Colorado, Nevada, New Mexico, Utah, and Wyoming. Having accomplished everything he set out to do, Polk chose not to seek a second term. He had expanded the United States from coast to coast, fulfilling his campaign promises and serving the nation in a single term as he had vowed. However, his legacy is a double-edged sword. The westward expansion he championed exacerbated the debate over slavery in the newly acquired territories, setting the stage for the Civil War just a decade later. Polk's presidency is a testament to a leader who not only made bold promises, but also delivered on them. Yet, it also serves as a reminder of the unintended consequences that can follow even the most successful administrations. James K. Polk remains a figure both celebrated for his accomplishments and scrutinized for the long-term impact of his policies.